Real quick, I have to say it. I know I'll just finally address it once and for all. I know I look like the Temu version of Jack Harlow or the...
No, look, bro. I get called Drewski. I get called the weekday MattyBallz. It's okay, bro.
Life like this sure is sweet, huh? It definitely is.
After this single came out and was going crazy, even Kanye jumped in and said that Jack Harlow was top 5.
This nigga can rap, bro, and I'm saying nigga is a compliment. Yeah, Kanye, move on side, bro. Move, bro.
This was kind of during that trend of artists sampling already like super big hit songs
and not changing the beat whatsoever. Like that's the Moneybag Yo and YG did it too, dude. I'm telling you, all these radio rap niggas, they were doing that. They were doing it, bro. It pissed me off.
Racist against rappers, they all look the same to him. They used to beg him not to egg them on Halloween. He told them holler back with the suede Pumas, dollar green. Nah, I mean, heated up till the temperature tarball. Y'all just gawk like gargoyle.
I'ma be honest, bro. Every couple of years after Eminem's prime ended, another white rapper comes onto the scene, no Diddy, does crazy numbers and then just super decline. You know, first it was Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, then it was G-Eazy, and now Jack Harlow. I liked a couple of Jack Harlow songs, but I'm gonna be real with you. That song that sampled that Fergie song, good God, that thing pissed me off. But let's see what MattyBallz was talking about. Why no one cares about Jack Harlow anymore. This dude was everywhere for like 2 years straight, bro.
For a period of time, Jack Harlow was one of the biggest rappers in hip-hop. With songs like What's Poppin', First Class, and Industry Baby.
First Class is trash, and I stand on that.
There's no doubt he had a crazy run in the early 2020. But fast forward to just a few years later, and it seems like he disappeared, with no one really talking about him anymore. Most recently, he put out a single with Doja Cat that had a big music video, but it just came and went. Something that was not...
I didn't even know he dropped the video with Doja.
Always the case for Jack. And I think that there are 3 main reasons for that. Okay. But to understand that, we have to go back to the beginning. Also,
no shot that's him.
Real quick, I have to say it. I know I'll just finally address it once and for all. I know I look like the Temu version of Jack Harlow or the...
No, look, bro. I get called Drewski. I get called the weekday MattyBallz. It's okay, bro.
Any other worse things you guys have said? I had his name hidden in the comments for a while just because I saw it so much. But here's a few.
How you say you like Jack Harlow without saying you like Jack Harlow?
Just to get an idea of how many there are. So yes, I get it. I sort of see it. Whatever. And now that we're finally...
It's the beard and the hair. Like, that's literally it, bro. That's the same problem I had with the Drewski comments, man. It's the beard. The beard does something. When I shaved the beard, right, the Drewski comment stopped. Now the beard is growing back, and when it gets back to where it was, oh my God, bro.
Past this, let's continue with the video. Before Jack Harlow blew up with the track What's Poppin', he did have a promising buzz in the underground rap scene. Around this time, he became friends with the comedian Drewski, a friendship that started well before the two found the level of success they've reached since. Nice. In an interview with Complex, the two told the story of how their friendship came to be.
I knew they were close, but I didn't know they were friends before the fame. That's why they got such good chemistry.
He ironically first found Jack after Diddy shouted him out on Instagram.
Oh my God, Drewski, stay away from Diddy.
Said, I saw Diddy post something like, "This is the next kid. He's the one." So I'm like, yo, Diddy doesn't even post like that. He'll either put himself or himself. I checked Jack's page out and I was like, yo, this song is a banger. The song Drewski was referring to was Jack's Through the Night with Bryson Tiller. And after listening to this, he heard the song Sundown as well, to which he said, okay, this white boy is it. Many fans even point back to this era of his music as his best, because even though later on he made some way more commercially successful songs, some people say they all kind of sound the same, with his older music having more variety and personality. But around this time in 2019...
I've never listened to any of Jack Harlow's older songs. I might check them out.
...is when Drewski decided to hit up Jack. And at this point, Jack said he'd already been a fan of Drewski, following him on IG for 3 months already, and putting people onto his videos all summer. So they finally started talking and hit it off right away. And Drewski even offered to hop on...
Wait, so you're saying this is before the fame? Jack Harlow was doing songs with Bryson Tiller? Bryson Tiller been on, hasn't he? Okay.
Jack's tour as an opener.
Just a personality. I found out that he lived in the city of Atlanta at the time. Linked up with him and we hung out. Of course, we were not really known then. I just heard about him and he was like, yo, I'm going on this small tour. And I went on tour with him. We were on a bus with like a whole bunch of people. We were showering at truck stops, just, you know, crazy stuff. But it just, we stuck through it and pushed through, even through all the struggles through that. And we used to have these talks on the tour bus, like, yo, when we make it, like, we're gonna go big, man. Like, we used to really like.
So they was going on tour before they were big.
Lock in, like, late at night and be like, bro, I can't wait. Like, we just had all these goals that we would talk about. And it's crazy to see both of us transcending and just going up now. It's just like wild to watch, man.
Drewski and Jack agree that the reason they get along so well is that they both had a very similar life goal. And while they worked in different industries, their social media overlap led to them grabbing the world's attention around the same time.
For real.
Life like this sure is sweet, huh? It definitely is.
Another funny thing
Drewski hilarious, bro.
is that the two were pretty competitive because neither of them said they wanted to be the broke friend. Drewski even said that when What's Poppin' came out, Jack shot through the roof. He had money coming in, but he was such a good friend. He would pay for shit and just be like, yo, I got it. So now that I'm where I'm at, I tell him, I got it, I can pay for it now. And their joint success even brought in business ventures together, like the unscripted Call of Duty Warzone trailer they featured in.
What the fuck, Drewski?
There's a radio. Let me turn the radio on. That's not a radio, you idiot! Relax, I got it. What are you not? We got a deal.
The reason I bring all of this up is to point out that I really do think Jack...
If you really could do shit like that in Call of Duty, I would play it again. Right now, it seems like Battlefield 6 is the new wave.
Jack Harlow and Drewski's relationship was huge in Jack Harlow's career. To this day, I still see clips on TikTok of the two hanging out together and all of their funny moments.
Goat vaccination spot.
Darn.
They're trying to get political.
Yeah. What is going on?
Why even?
That says vacation, dumbass.
Goat vacation spot. My fault.
That nigga's a rapper, can't read. Are you crazy?
Vacation spot.
How the fuck? How did you read vaccination?
So I've got Jack Harlow here. I just wanted to ask you one question. What is up with the fouling, and why would you say you're fouling so much out here?
You are so fine, bro.
Other than that, I'd like to ask.
Oh my God, 24K golden Jesus.
the game, man. You're really persistent. You're a great guy. What are you looking at?
When are we gonna talk Kyrie?
We are not going to talk about that. We can talk about some more questions, though.
Talk about real shit.
Ain't nobody keeping it real no more.
What are you looking for?
Nobody want to discuss the elephant?
What do you?
And Jack Harlow is a very funny guy.
I told you, they got really good chemistry together, bro.
So much so that it got to the point where, apart from some of his like more popular songs, he was mostly known for his personality, with fans saying things like, Jack Harlow is just naturally funny. He never forces any of his humor, which makes him so likable.
Now, what would you say about Jack Harlow now? Because people like to switch up crazy. I'll never say that Jack Harlow is whack or a cornball. You know, I wasn't the biggest fan of his music, but I think him and Drewski could easily make like a comedy duo, bro.
My opinion was just thinking about this. Like, I barely know any Jack Harlow songs, but the man got my utmost respect.
See, that's kind of like the wave that I'm on. I didn't really know much of his songs, but I thought he was a cool dude.
Because he's okay with being himself. He doesn't try to portray anything he's not. Anybody who masters that is very likable. So his personality, humor, and viral moments with Drewski were instrumental in launching his career. And
yeah, but you don't see songs right there. Okay.
Another big part of his launch, aside from his social media virality, was the release of the song What's Poppin' that I mentioned earlier. This song was accompanied with
especially with that remix.
Lyrical Lemonade music video, who at the time was well known for putting artists on. The track placed top 10 in Billboard's Hot 100, led to a remix with DaBaby, Tory Lanez, and Lil Wayne.
GOAT!
and also even got nominated for Best Rap Performance at the Grammy Awards. It basically took Jack from a popular up-and-comer with a few good songs to a mainstream artist worthy of collabs with some of the biggest names in the genre.
And I love how he got Drewski in there too. I forgot he was on the fucking freshman list. See, that's how unmemorable these ciphers are, because I swear to God I don't remember what his cipher even was. I couldn't recite to you a single bar from it.
Even landed him a spot in the 2020 XXL freshman class. Jack Harlow was now a mainstream rapper with a ton of opportunities. He put out his debut album, That's What They All Say, which featured a song called Way Out with Big Sean that was a big success. The album debuted at number 5 on the Billboard 200 and sold 51,000 units.
Killer. Oh my God. Jack Harlow and Cordae. Okay, that makes sense. See, this is the scary part of like having a rap career, is because it can come and it can go so quickly that it's like it'll give you whiplash with how fast it can just dissipate, bro. I'm telling you, like, come on, bro.
Started working with artists like,
and like real talk, like Jack Harlow and Cordae, because you know both of them low key, like both of them are kind of cold right now. I'm not even gonna hold you, but that's not saying that they don't have the potential to drop something that could change it around. But right now, like, because they haven't been in the public eye as much anymore, niggas is probably starting the dialogue of they fell off. And you know, hearing that once or twice here or there don't really bother people, but seeing that from thousands of people saying that, excuse me, it'll eventually get to you.
Like Eminem, Cordae, and then he did the track Industry Baby with Lil Nas X, which was another huge hit. After the single came out and was going crazy, even Kanye jumped in and said that Jack Harlow was top 5.
This nigga can rap, bro, and I'm saying nigga is a compliment. Yeah, Kanye, move on side, bro, move, bro.
Out right now.
I can't stand Kanye sometimes.
Now, then he started to prepare to put his second album out, Come Home the Kids Miss You. He began the rollout.
That's this is where the downfall begins, bro, because I think I'm trying to remember. I think it did pretty well, but it had mixed reviews, and I think this is probably when people are gonna say the fall off started, because I remember hearing people say that this is when he kind of dropped in quality.
Out with the single Nail Tech, which did fairly well, but then he put out the single First Class, which was a smash hit. The song sampled Fergie's hit song Glamour.
Hated this song,
and it heavily relied on it. Despite the criticism of the song for overly relying on the sample, it went crazy on TikTok and blew up. Side note, this was kind of during that trend of artists sampling already like super big hit songs
and not changing the beat whatsoever. Like that's the Moneybagg Yo and YG did it too. Dude, I'm telling you, all these radio rap niggas, they were doing that. They were doing it, bro. It pissed me off. It like ruins because hip hop is built on the foundation of sampling something and changing it up and making a completely new sound from that sample. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so lazy. You just added a couple of 808s and a couple of basses and a couple of extra boom and tips to an already established beat. Bro, like, oh my God. Every now and then is okay, but it was like a streak of people dropping it, bro. Like, YG really pissed me off whenever he did the Mary J. Blige feature, because literally it was just a song, and then the hook was just Mary J. Blige. Like, it was crazy, bro.
And then kind of not really changing them up enough to make it worthy of the sample.
Exactly.
It was just such a lazy and boring time, but it was working, and clearly Jack was captain.
That's when radio rap had got a chokehold, bro, and it was ridiculous, man. Oh my God, bro, I hated that shit so much.
On that. Then Jack released the album Come Home the Kids Miss You, which went crazy, especially due to the First Class song. It debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and sold 113,000 copies first week. Get it?
No,
Drake feature.
This isn't what I'm thinking of. The next album is when the fall off starts, because I think the next fall off was like him standing shirtless or something. I don't even remember what it was called.
A Lil Wayne feature,
Young Harleezy. I'm tired of this nigga.
A Justin Timberlake feature, and a Pharrell feature.
And a Lil
he just
Wayne
had
feature.
A star-studded feature list. Jack Harlow was on top of his game and arguably at the peak of his career, but this whole time there was some sneaking criticism of Jack. Despite all of his commercial success, a lot of rap fans just weren't too fond of the pop rap records he was putting out. His album Come Home the Kids Miss You came came with a lot of criticism from the greater rap community.
When Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B make wet ass pussy, they're ruining the generation of young men.
Of course, out of all the clips of Sean C, he'd pick the one where he's talking about WAP.
They're poisoning their minds, they're destroying the youth. But when Jack Harlow makes an entire album about fucking, about womanizing, about just being a dickhead with zero substance or layers to him whatsoever, oh, he the next Drake. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with this album because he got a bunch of bitches. I just can't overlook the hypocrisy. This nigga has a bar on this album talking about his semen. Some of these bars are bad.
I can believe it.
But they're worse when you put them in the context that he uses them in. Unprovoked, I like to dictate things, Kim Jong. What the fuck are
I won't use your name if you feel like it don't belong, but I'm just so inspired by the way you wear that thong. You know, I like to dictate things, Kim Jong. I know how to drink strong. Yeah, this nigga was tweaking, bro.
You talking?
What the hell is he?
My handsome enough. Now them same girls got coke in their nostrils. Something done made the youth hostile. Maybe it's the fuel from them fossils?
Undeniably, the album was a pretty weak album from a rapping and production standpoint. Like, it was...
So, okay, I was right. Okay, I wasn't tripping. I got gaslit by myself for a second. That crazy. I was like, yeah, this is... That album was the album when people... At least the rap critic, like the super analytical niggas started talking about how Jack Harlow's quality was starting to dip off. But a lot of people were saying Jack Harlow was never really on for real. And Jack Harlow dropped a couple of good verses, but I ain't gonna sit here and talk about that he was like rookie of the year or anything. Like commercial wise, yeah, but like I feel like real hip hop heads could kind of like see that this, you know what I'm saying, unless he changed it up, it wasn't really gonna like stick for real. Because we already seen it multiple times before with your Macklemore's, your G-Eazy's, and all of that. And I'm not trying to be racist, but it's the truth, bro. Like, white rappers that can actually rap, they commercially, they'll go crazy, but then there's no like longevity to it. You know what I'm saying? It's sad.
Far from groundbreaking. The album also received mixed reviews from critics, but honestly the place that I saw the most hate was on Twitter, and they were pretty ruthless. In the span of just months, it went from people talking about how everyone loved Jack Harlow to every single outlet talking about how much hate he was getting online.
That's how bipolar the rap community is, bro.
And because of this album. People were saying things like, the Jack Harlow push was crazy. He received a sneaker deal, was on every magazine cover, was on every talk show, did SNL, tried to sing, and in return, he dropped a mid-album in between Future and Kendrick Lamar.
See, I'm not gonna lie, that might just be a part of fatigue too, because like, if you start seeing a certain celebrity, and this doesn't even apply just to rap, if you see a celebrity everywhere, you start low-key, there's groups of people that'll just start hating everything about them.
You can tell the industry is pushing him very hard to be the next pop star. Jack pushes zero boundaries in his music. I don't feel like I miss anything not listening to him. I don't remember who exactly said it, but around this time, someone said that Jack Harlow just feels like a watered down, more boring version of Drake. And honestly, I agree. His raps weren't really anything special. His instrumentals were very Drake-esque. It was just pretty boring. It wasn't even like he made a bad album or something or did something wrong. People just hated him because of the album being so painfully plain and boring that people were fed up. Come Home the Kids.
That's what I can't really give too much critique on it because I never listened to it. You know what I'm saying? The handful of Jack Harlow songs that I listened to, I was except that Fergie song, that was ridiculous. So I can't really speak on
Miss
the
You,
album.
despite its commercial success, was the beginning of the end for Jack Harlow. One of the biggest criticisms of Jack Harlow around this time is that he went too pop, and I sort of agree. His music was never too underground or unique to begin with, but he definitely doubled down on the pop rap type of music to keep that commercially successful money.
Pop rap can be done right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did have a golden age where pop rap. We had a golden age where pop rap was like it was in, it was hip. We had that golden age, but that golden age is not here anymore for a reason, and it's because people, you know, obviously hip hop heads at least started realizing just how shallow and paper thin and fake a lot of pop artists and managers and stuff are. You know, like, I don't know how it is with the other genres, but with hip hop, character also plays a big deal into whether or not people fuck with your music. And if, unfortunately, like, a lot of pop stars came off as fake, phony, two-faced, they would use hip-hop as stepping stones and then bash it whenever they got to the top. And it's kind of like, you know, that's kind of the reason why you don't see too many rappers collabing with pop stars that often. You know what I'm saying? If it is, then it doesn't get much buzz in the hip-hop community. And plus, pop is super commercialized, like super commercialized, bro. It's so squeaky clean. It's like, you know what I'm saying? If it's sonically pleasing, then it'll do fine in pop. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to really push boundaries or really say anything of substance with pop records. And I feel like that's why a lot of hip-hop heads don't like pop.
Coming in. However, I think after all of that criticism, he heard that and wanted to prove to rap fans that he still really could rap and put out some good music. So Jack Harlow got to work and began putting together his third studio album, Jackman, which
this is the album. Yeah, he was shirtless standing in the street, and yeah, I don't think people were rocking with this either. I didn't hear nothing about this. Like, when I saw it, I was like, why is he standing in the street? And I was like, oh, that's the album.
Interestingly enough, is his first name, Jackman. I don't know, that's just a strange name.
His actual name is Jackman? All right, yeah. Fry his parents, bro.
I mean, normally it's like Jack or Jackson or something, but
Jackman.
Yes. Anyway, it was somewhat of a surprise drop with not much of a rollout, and the album cover gives off a vibe of being back home, as it was shot in Louisville, Kentucky. And the cover just made it seem like he was going to try to go back to his roots.
Every rapper... Okay, can I go on a quick rant? Every rapper does this, and it almost always falls flat on its face, bro. Every rapper at some point in their career drops an album that has like a kid picture or a throwback picture or an old school pic, like something from their childhood homes, and then it just be a whole lot of nothing. How you gonna post an album with like memorabilia of your youth, and then you just talk about what you usually would talk about? The Baby pissed me off so much when he dropped Kirk. Like, gang, what are we talking about? You literally, it's the album cover is your dad holding you as a baby. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be hearing you talking about going to strip club. Okay, bro. Every rapper does this, and some of them hit. Like Wayne, you know, he basically made into a series, The Carter. But it's just, I don't know, bro. It's a pet peeve of mine when a rapper drops an album that's clearly supposed to be like an introspective kind of album, and it's not. Like, that pisses me off so much.
And he did, as he put out a fully fledged rap album with 10 cuts featuring soulful loops and boom bap production to prove he's a real artist. On this project, Jack tried to get deep and introspective, which did woo a few rap fans, but not enough. Hip Hop DX said, alas, despite the attempts of introspection, there's not enough to redeem this record. Jackman is the album version of listening to the kid in class deliver a book report about a novel he didn't read, but
Jesus
wants the class to think he's an expert on.
Jesus. It's criticism like that because it's not even a hateful like criticism, bro. It's just kind of hard hitting. Like, that shit is.
So Jack Harlow made another misstep. He tried to appeal to a more niche audience after all of the criticism, but it didn't really hit like that hard for the rap fans. Of course,
it's hard to do a 180 from doing straight pop to going into introspective rap. That's a completely different audience who will absolutely analyze every bar that you're saying, bro. Every stanza, every syllable. Yeah, it's gonna get analyzed, and if it's not hitting, they're gonna let you know.
People liked it, but you know, they didn't love it. It wasn't some Kanye stuff. On top of that, it did worse commercially because it was less poppy than his other music. So he really did miss both crowds, which resulted in less streams. The album debuted at 8 on the Billboard 200 and sold 33,000 units first week, which was weaker than both his debut and sophomore project. The idea that him trying to rap and get all deep not working can be seen very clearly when right after this album came out and didn't do well, he put out another pop rap type of song called Lovin' On Me, where he sampled Whatever by Cadillac Dale. Going
I'm so glad I ain't never heard this because it pissed me off.
back to the first class style of pop rap songs, he debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. This song also went crazy on TikTok, with a sample being probably the catchiest part about the song. And what's actually really funny is this song, to me at least, sounded very similar to The Motto by Drake. Just listen to like the first 2 seconds of each song.
Oh, that's this? No, bro. Get this out of my... Oh, man. Y'all get it.
The drum patterns sound very similar.
Yeah, that is freaky. I literally forgot that song existed.
And on top of that, one of the top comments on The Motto is, the drum pattern used in the track for Lovin' On Me by Jack Harlow reminded me of this song. So clearly, him and the audience knew that pop songs were what worked. After this, though, Jack Harlow has only put out 4 singles in the last 2 years.
What?
Which
Hello, Miss Johnson?
is kind of strange. He's done a little bit of acting, but he isn't doing a ton with the momentum that he used to have when it comes to his music career, leaving many fans wondering what happened to him and leaving others to just forget about him. Jack does seem self-aware though, and even commented on the current state of his music career after Jackman on the single he put out called Tranquility. He said things like, "Every day I grow a little less accessible, less of a people pleaser, less flexible. I'm proud of what we have done, but I'm trying to be better though, because I don't really think I've made nothing incredible. A lot of hard verses and a couple regrettable. As far as big records go, yeah, I got a few of those, but I ain't done nothing indisputable."
See, throughout all of this, I have yet to see a single reason why I should like hate Jack Harlow. Like, I feel like the Jack Harlow hate is kind of forced, you know. Not saying that he's not a good artist, saying that you don't rock with his music, that's like one thing, but like saying like celebrating that his career is kind of going cold is kind of outrageous. I'm not gonna lie, that's like straight hater shit.
Clearly he's heard what all of the fans have said, and he seems to have a similar perspective. He seems to think, yes, I've made some decent songs, I made the pop rap songs, I've done well commercially, got some hits, but I haven't put out an album or a project or even a single that is groundbreaking. He hasn't pushed the needle at all. And all of this brings us to his most recent single, Just Us, featuring Doja Cat. Like I said earlier, the song kind of came and went, and most of the discourse was over the music video where it looked like him and Doja were in love, which is especially noticeable or important.
That's straight up acting, bro.
Because,
and of course Doja would love her a little white boy.
Because of this clip of the two of them on an Instagram live a few years ago.
I see you, Doja. Come on in here. Yo.
I need to charge my phone.
I need to talk to you for a second.
My wig is coming up. I gotta go. Thanks for this.
Love you. Oh man, I've had a crush on her for months.
See, I can't hate this guy. I can't bring myself to hate this guy. Look at Jetson Maid talking about you gotta do it. This nigga, bro.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Doja Cat. Oh, I'm over here feeling good now.
All the comments say things like, after the filming ended, they both asked, so what are we? But the downside, of course, is that the discourse was not actually about the song. And this brings me to my third reason as to why I think he's struggling right now, at least in a musical sense. Come Home the Kids Miss You was weak. He went a little bit too pop, and now he's not really letting his personality shine through like it used to. For so long in Jack Harlow's career, he was in part carried by the fact that he was super online, doing interviews, hanging out with Drewski,
He was everywhere, but now that he's not everywhere, because like I said earlier, your character is also part of your career as a rapper. Unless you build up that career as like not being a front-facing kind of person, then you need to keep constantly feeding the audience something. Otherwise, people are really gonna just literally forget about you, and then they're gonna turn that forgetfulness into hate for some reason.
Instagram live streams, joking on his Instagram story, and always just being silly. And now it seems like he isn't popping out and goofing around anymore like he used to. Don't get me wrong, he's still a funny guy and jokes around from time to time. Like when last year Drewski posted this picture that was captioned, "Never needed no PR," and Jack responded, "Or a stylist, or a trainer, or a nutritionist." Hashtag self-made, hashtag independent. Jack Harlow is definitely a funny guy, which was one of the major reasons people like him, like I mentioned earlier, and emphasized with how close he was with Drewski. So without that, and with the music being sort of weak lately, it just seems like no one is really talking about Jack Harlow anymore. Of course, he's still super successful, and lately he's been heavily pushing his brand deal with New Balance, but on the music side of things, it's felt very mediocre as of late. Now, I'm not going to say that his music was ever groundbreaking. I mean, he wouldn't say that either, probably. One fan on the Jack Harlow subreddit said, "Why is his music getting worse?" Other fans responded saying things like, "Jackman was the best rap album I feel he's put out, but given it doesn't do any hit streaming numbers, it's likely Jack tried to switch things up as music is still a business. My issue is all 4 singles so far seem to have no connection to each other." Another said, "It's like he's pulse checking. He's releasing things that have been in his drafts and trying to see what works." That's in reference to the 4 singles he's
I can believe that. That makes sense.
put out, because none of them have the same type of vibe. Another fan said, "I accepted after Jackman came out that we probably will never get 2017 to 2020 Jack ever again, but at least we got to experience it at all." Jack Harlow still has potential to make good music. I mean, he already has the platform. He knows what works and what doesn't. Now it's just up to him to decide what he wants to do. I also think he should get out there more like he used to. Like, I'm surprised he's never been on Kai Cenat's stream or hung out with Drewski when he was on there. I don't know. I just feel like Jack has that perfect personality for hanging out and goofing around, and
he's probably going through like a really bad identity crisis right now with his music not hitting, and then the pop fans not being real fans. You know what I'm saying? They're just there for the pop. If you're not making a pop song, they don't really care about you. And then the people who really were rocking with him are telling him, yeah, you kind of went poppy, and we're kind of disappointed. And now he's kind of like, I'm in limbo. I don't know where to do anymore. And I think right now he's just trying to focus on getting his money, and maybe he might be cooking something, you know, and he's taking his time with it, which is the best thing to do. But unfortunately, with a music career, time is like one of the things that you don't really get a lot of.
Networking with other celebrities, that's just perfect for viral moments. But he hasn't been taking advantage of that lately. Regardless, the honesty on his verse on that Tranquility record goes to show that he knows what type of situation he's in. I'm sure he's good on money, so commercial success probably isn't a big deal. But right now, his core audience is very weak and needs something desperately to latch onto. And it's up to him to figure that out, which it seems like he's kind of trying to do right now. If you like this video, you might like a very similar video I made about Lil Nas X, a collaborator of Jack Harlow, who also used to be very big and talked about.
We're not going to talk about Lil Nas X right now. But yeah, man, that's Jack Harlow. You know, let me know in the comments if you was rocking with Jack Harlow at any point in time. You know what I'm saying? I never hated him, but I was never like a big Jack Harlow guy.